G'day guys, and welcome back to the channel. So you just bought your lab putter. What are the first things you need to do? The first thing you need to do is not change your setup. Don't change your setup, don't change your grip, just keep doing what you've been doing before you got fit for the putter. A common mistake with these putters is people get them and then they start changing their setup. And the issue with that is, I'll go and hit a putt. So the issue with that is, if you are someone who got fit for this putter, and say for example, you got fit for this putter and your eye line was way inside the ball. So you stand quite far away from the ball, your hands are low, and you've got a putter that's really flat. If that's what you got fit for, then you need to keep putting like that if you're going to putt with this putter. If you've got fit for something that's say 64 degrees flat, and now you get up to this ball and you get your eyes over the ball, ultimately what that's going to do is it's going to change the lie angle of your putter. Your heel is going to be sitting so far up off the ground, it's not going to work. You're going to really struggle starting the ball on line because these putters, as we know, they are lie angle balanced though, so they're balanced to stay square to the actual lie angle of the putter. So as soon as you start having some crazy, difference between the lie angle on the ground and your stroke, you're really going to struggle getting the ball starting on line. So that's the first thing. If you bought this putter, don't change your setup. You can make minor changes, but don't make any dramatic changes that are going to really affect how your putter sits on the ground. Okay, with that being said though, let's talk about ball position. So ball position with these putters is huge. A lot of people get these putters and they don't know where to actually position the ball in their stance. When people first get these, they do struggle. And I struggled for about 3 weeks. I had to go in deep, look at my stroke and really figure out why ultimately I wasn't rolling and starting the ball on line. I did find out why I wasn't, and I ultimately fixed it, and I've never looked back. I'm so glad I stuck with this putter. You may have a transition period with this putter, so be aware of that. Let's talk about ball position, because a lot of people get these things and they struggle with where to put it in their stance. What I've found out after using these putters for well over a year now is the further forward you move it, the better. Ultimately, unless you start pulling it because your stroke, your ball position is so far forward, that's when you need to go, hey, let's actually move it back a little bit. The further forward you put it, it's really just going to encourage a more upward hit on the ball and you're going to roll the ball better. So ball position for me, if you're going to think about ball position, if you think about the tip of the shaft, and if you just get the tip of the shaft in the middle of your stance, if not slightly forward, you're fine. That is going to be fine. What you've got to be careful of as well is moving the ball up in your stance. What people tend to do is if I start moving the ball way up in my stance, it opens my shoulders. So my shoulders are now open to the target. So a good position to be is, for me, I like the shaft to be just forward of center, and the ball position is almost where I'd play like say a 4-iron if I was going to be doing a full shot. That allows me to start the ball on line and still hit slightly up on the ball, getting it, lifting out of its little dimple on the ground and rolling along the ground nicely. What about your actual stroke? Because these putters, it's going to take a little bit, like I said, to get used to it. When I first got this putter, what I had to realize was that you cannot fight this putter. You have to let the technology work for you. This is designed to stay square to your actual lie angle. So where your putter sits on the ground, the actual lie angle, the face is going to sit square to that lie angle. So if your alignment is out, say if you're someone that aims to the right and then tries to pull your putts with your hands, if you putt like that, you are forever going to be fighting this putter. One of the big things with these is you need to be aligned correctly, and then you need to take your hands out of the stroke. So if you're someone that when you putt, aims right or aims left and tries to pull or push putts back on line, you're not going to get on with this putter. You're not. For me, this was me. So when I first got this thing, I was someone who aimed right and I pulled my putts back on line. What I had to learn to do was actually set up square, and then what I was doing for the next 3 weeks was pulling all of my putts left. And so I had to be very diligent. I had to really work on my alignment. And thankfully I've got the sim that really gets me setting up square. So I worked on my alignment, I persevered through, and I started to learn how to putt with taking my hands out of the stroke. So you really want to be passive in your hands. You don't want any sort of torsional movements with your wrists or your hands, and that is going to let the putter just do the work. A light grip is always preferable. If you grip it too hard, you're always going to want to try and control the putter head. One of the best drills that I found to actually work on this, and I did this drill a lot when I first got my, my lab, is the no thumbs drill. So what I'd do is I'd set up to the actual shot, I'd get my grip, and it doesn't matter whether you're left hand low or you know, conventional, get your grip and then take your thumbs off the actual grip. So I'm essentially gripping it like this, just in my fingers. What this allows you to do is it takes all of the want to twist or control the putter head out of it. So it's almost like using the lab cradle, the actual revealer that they have. It just keeps everything so neutral and square. And I even got to the point on course where I was gripping this putter and I would just slightly raise my thumbs off the actual grip and just putt like that inside 10 feet. Because what you'll find is it will take out every bit of torsional twist that you want to add. So that is a fantastic drill, and I've got a whole video on that drill. Definitely go and watch that. It's one of my favorite drills to do with this putter, and honestly, it will help you to no end. And finally, I'm going to end on this. These lab golf putters, they've taken the world by storm, and they are amazing pieces of engineering, amazing technology that is unlike anything we've seen. And you've seen a lot of companies now start to copy these putters with the zero torque. But that being said, it is not a magic wand. Just because you buy this thing doesn't mean you are going to make every putt. You still need to actually put a good stroke on the ball. You need to control speed, you need to read the greens correctly, and then you ultimately need to get used to these because they are going to be different to what you are used to putting with. Like I said, this took me 3 weeks of hard work every day to start really rolling this thing well. I'm so glad I did, because now that I've actually got past that, I'm such a better putter and I'm so much better for it, but it will take a bit of work. So don't just think you're going to buy this and you're going to start rolling in every putt from 50 feet. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you learned something from that video. If you did, let me know in the comment section down below, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Cheers.